I'm just saying is it's like, yeah, there is a problem with Western society and Western culture. We all know that, but it's not specifically just to women. And it's not specifically just to men.
Right.
It is, you know, we all have to women have to do better and take more accountability and fix those things. And but men have to learn to lead because they're the ones that set the pace and set the example. And masculinity is the action taking, forward moving, right? And femininity follows it. And femininity needs a masculine space, a protection in order to exist. So when guys are complaining about women not being feminine, they are responsible for it. Not them directly, but men
they're gonna come for you.
But it's true because femininity cannot exist without having the space for it.
I mean, I agree. So. And even women that are, because again, I've mentioned this many times, I think women are trying to get back to being feminine.
Right.
And the thing is, when a woman's single, she is in her masculine when she goes and works and things like that. That is a more like masculine thing. But at home, she's doing more feminine things because that's her safe space, right?
Yeah.
And so, and when you're dating as a woman, dating is not safe for women. It's not safe to automatically jump out the gate and be 100% feminine towards a man.
Right.
You don't know what his intentions are. And I'm not saying that women should be masculine on a date.
Right.
But I'm saying that she's still going to have a blend of feminine and masculine when she goes on a date with you because she has to. I literally used to go on dates with a box cutter in my purse. Like, that sounds ridiculous, but as a woman, you have to be prepared. Yeah. Like now, if we went somewhere and I'm with you, I don't carry around a box cutter because I have you, which I'm not. You know. But I'm just saying that men have to understand that even if they're not creating an unsafe space for a woman, women have to be safe.
Yeah, and again, guys don't get it because they haven't seen the text messages. They haven't. I've seen them.
Yeah.
Right? I've seen them from you. I've seen them from your friends. I've seen them when I dated women and they showed me the things. And it's like, yeah, guys are, I mean, they'll be the nicest guy in the world saying all this stuff. And then as soon as they feel like you're ghosting them or rejecting them in some way, they're like, I mean, I would be scared if they had my address. Like, you know what I mean? Because I don't know what they're going to do.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, yeah. So it is,
I hope men can understand you saying it, though, because I know even when we first got together, like, you understood. Yeah. But like you've said, now that you've seen, like, some of my friends and you've seen the reactions, too, from us doing this together and things like that, I think you have gotten a better understanding. Not that you didn't understand before, but it's like you are actually kind of on the other side.
Yeah, and see, a lot of guys are saying, oh, she's changed you, she's, and it's like, no, it's more of a magnification, right? It's like, it's more me doubling down on the stuff that I was already saying.
Right. Well, because now you have proof, too, right? Like, before you would maybe be like, oh, well, maybe it's not that big of a deal like you're saying it is, which a lot of men do. They're like, oh, women, you make all this stuff up. Right. But now that you can actually see some of the stuff, you realize that it's more important to give this message to men. And men don't see that because they, again, don't have that behind the scenes, like seeing this stuff actually unfold in real life. They think it's a myth that they don't want to believe, right?
Exactly.
They don't want to believe that men get angry and do this sort of stuff to women, even though if you look at the comments, these men are angry and they're saying a bunch of stuff on a comment. So why wouldn't they say that to a woman?
Right, exactly.
That they're upset with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad that you're getting more of a perspective. Again, I'm not saying that women don't have any responsibility and don't need to take accountability and don't have things to work on.
Yeah.
But, and again, this kind of goes back to when we tried to do an episode on the woman's side of what they struggle with, and you had to do it because I was like, look, if I say it, they're not going to believe it at all. Like, they're not really going to listen. Yeah. And they probably didn't even fully listen to you, but it's different when you actually see it.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, it's not me changing my viewpoint. I've always been against the victim mindset, right? It's and it's also not that women don't have any problems.
Right.
Like I said, we just did an episode on a book that women should read called The Surrendered Wife. It's like women have a lot of issues.
Right.
And there is a lot of issues in Western society that is systemic and causes problems. But my whole thing, because I've been coaching men for a long time, is that I do expect, and I guess we're going to get into the topic, but I do have a higher expectation of men because they are the leaders and the protectors and the fighters, right? And so I could sit here and I could bash women. I could point out plenty of flaws about women, right? But there's no purpose in me doing that because I don't expect that to be effective, and it wouldn't be.
Right.
But I do expect men, when I call out their flaws and their issues because they're leaders, to step up, because I know that that is what is going to make the change, is men. I don't expect women to lead the charge of changing Western society. How foolish would that be if what I'm saying is that men should be leaders and stepping up and being men, but I expect women to lead the charge, and that happening,
right.
it doesn't make any sense.
That's not authoritative,
right? So it's
in any way.
Like I think a lot of guys think that I don't understand the bad things women do. I completely understand. Believe me, I have a daughter, right? We have a daughter, and we just had a conversation this week about strippers and not stuff like so just this kind of stuff that they gets in their heads from what's out there and from what women are doing. So I understand completely all the stuff that
and here's
happens,
the thing that I think both men and women need to realize when they're single is that women can't change men, and men can't change women.
Right.
Change yourself.
Yeah.
Focus on the things that you need to work on yourself. And then when you get in a relationship, you'll realize there are things that you need to heal within that too, but you'll be in a better headspace.
Yeah.
And you'll have known that you can do hard things like break bad habits or heal certain things that you've been carrying around that you don't need to carry around. And then it'll make when you get in that situation better, because women can't fix these men and men can't fix women. Like they can, though, by being better versions of themselves. And that's why, and same with women, like you can attract the man or you can
influence them.
Influence them by not being with them. I used to tell people, like when I was dating, that women don't realize that they have a certain influence over a man by not being with him. Like if he's interested in her and she's like, hey, like I've enjoyed talking to you, but there are a few things that, I just don't think we align on. And so like, I don't think we're a good fit.
Right.
And if he likes you, he might realize, again, you can't control this. You're not doing this to manipulate him, but he might be like, oh crap. Yeah, I am acting this way. And I just lost a woman that I do find valuable.
Right.
And so maybe I should work on this thing. Like women don't realize the power in saying no. And again, some of these men probably will be like, fuck you, bitch. You know, that's normal. Every woman has dealt with a man who acts that way. But at the same time, you never know when you might have influenced a man to better himself because he did value you. And you respectfully declined him and told him why.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So again, I think instead of men blaming women and women blaming men, they need to focus on themselves and have standards and have boundaries.
Yeah.
Because you will influence the people you're trying to influence by healing yourself and having
better than